Hello, Tom Greiner here again. This is our mocked up version of a column. And what we did is we made the earth anchors. It's in plexiglass. We'll have this at the trade show showing you the earth anchors are right underneath here. They come up, we hook into the come along hooks into a cable, and then we got the chokers at the top. And so you got those on the inside or the outside, and you know, to plumb or straighten the building, you just crank on this one and let off on that one, or vice versa, until you get that gable end perfectly straight. And it's a little breezy here today, and if we get 30-40 mile an hour winds, or maybe even more, or a thunderstorm goes through, you're going to be real happy that you've got these earth anchors and cables and come-alongs on every end pole to hold that thing straight if you got trusses up and you don't have the roof on yet. These buildings, as they are getting wider and taller and longer, we just can't prop a board up on the gable end and drive a stake in the ground and call that good. It's just not going to hold and everything. So we think it's a good system. With my cable cart assembly and all the come-alongs and everything, you buy this kit, you're going to find out that you're going to operate more efficiently, more safely, and if you save one building, you've done great. So now I want to demonstrate this little gadget right here that I've kind of worked with a retired machinist I sold a building to. And it's called a scratch marker. And what it is, it's nothing more than a simple Sharpie magic marker in this pipe right here and everything. And we stick it in this pipe. I'll put the cap back on. And we just got a simple spring. And put the cap on. So what we do, or the method that I've always used, is that we get all the columns set. This here black mark signifies our laser line. I always like to have the guys put that on pretty close to eye level, and there's a reason why. We just go around and shoot it with a laser level, and we'll square around it. We'll call that the laser line. And then we kind of figure out, you know, where our finished floor elevation is going to be on the site, or where grade. And grade, in our terminology, is the bottom of the splashboard. And when we do that, we get that determined. Whatever this distance is from where we want the bottom of the splash, which I already got the nail in, to here, let's just say it's 4 feet, we would just take a simple 2x4 like this, and we'd hook on, measure up 4 feet, and we'll draw a line around it. And then let's just say that the building's 15 foot tall or 16 foot tall. We'd measure up 16 and we'd put a line around that. And this is what we call our scratch board, because what we used to use is a nail. And we kind of, with the buildings getting taller, that got to be more of a challenge to put a good scratch on. Sometimes the guys got a scratch mixed up with a saw cut, and we ended up putting the truss at the wrong height. Sometimes it got so tall that they went around and measured each one individually, which is not terrible, takes a little bit of time, but every once in a while they would mismeasure, and then the truss would get put at the wrong height. So I had this thing made to eliminate that problem. And it's got a gauge here that's machined in. You put that right at the line that we put at, and you take the cap off. And what the guys will do, once the laser line's on, and you got this mocked up, one person will go around and they'll put that right at the laser line, and they'll stick that nail in there. They'll go ahead and drive that nail in, and all we have to do is put our splashboard on that and nail it. And then this mark right here determines the bottom of the truss. So once you get that nail in, you just simply go like that, and here you got a nice line. So depending on how you, maybe you're using a nail lamb and you saddle the truss in the middle ply. Well, you wouldn't have that middle ply in there. It would be easy to measure what length block you need. You put it in there, and then your truss is ready to go. If you're using a glue lamp column, you probably got one side or the other that doesn't have the glue on it. It's called what we call a glue strip, and they just cut that ply off and the truss sits on the side. Either method, it works great, and it's pretty much mistake proof. You get it done, a couple guys go around there in no time at all, and you've got where you're splashed. One thing you can do is if you've got a wainscot and a wainscot nailer, you can also measure up whatever your wainscot height is, and you could set a nail in the column there for the first nailer to go on, and from there on out you can use spacer sticks or however you do it. So we think this is a good product. I know that Garrett, my foreman that worked underneath me, the machinist made the prototype of it, went out and gave it to him, and he just absolutely loves it. He thinks it's just great. So we kind of really think that this is a good product out here, and I'm going to have a number of them for sale at the trade show. I'm working on finding a factory that will mass produce them for me. I think they're a neat thing, and if there is a good demand for it, I will have them available for you to purchase from me. So yeah, that's about it on the cable and anchor system. And the scratch marker, I don't know what else I can tell you, except that I think if you try it, you'll like it, and it will make you operate more efficiently, therefore increasing your profits. Thank you very much.